I'm Tracey White.
I'm Jake Schriner.
I'm Mike Leckie.
I'm Pastor Johnny Leckie, and this is the Compass Conversation Podcast. Welcome.
Thumbnail.
Oh, thumbnail. Hi. Da-da-da-da-da.
We
will follow you. You have the name above every name. We will follow you, King Jesus.
Yes.
And we're back. And we're back. Well, alrighty then. So Michael's here tonight. Woo! Look at Michael. Hey, hey.
Why does your hat say Dad?
Because I'm a father of 12 kids and 7 grandchildren. I'm very proud.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Wow, how did that happen? Michael is the father of 9. That's all right. Anyway, glad you're here. But anyway, we're going to start, see how everybody's doing. Why don't we start right over here with Mr. Tracey White.
Okay, so doing well. Had a busy day. Started a new project. So yeah, that's it.
Short, sweet.
Short. There's really nothing. I mean, out of the ordinary.
Yeah,
going
it doesn't
on.
have to be out of the ordinary.
It's like
Just seeing how you're doing, man.
all the normal stuff that we always talk about. Tired. Actually, my energy level is a little higher than normal, and I think it might be because I started a new multivitamin that is built to give extra energy throughout the day. So we'll see how that sticks throughout the week. And then I did my full workout today, so I was happy about that.
Full workout, the whole.
My whole.
I know you
workout.
talked a little bit about the workout last time, but
Yeah.
what kind of like push-ups and
Push-ups, plyo, and abs, yeah. So,
awesome.
In several, let's see, this was 7 different sets of that stuff. So, it was good.
nice.
You don't like get
More
up at
sets
4
than I
a.m. and run a half marathon too or anything?
No.
That would be Bob.
Start the day with some rigorous cardio.
Cardio is my weak spot. I mean, seriously. And you know, every year we test, the Air Force test and everything. COVID pushed that out. I'm due in May. And it's been like, I didn't test in 20 or 21.
Oh, wow.
So I skipped 2 years. But the cardio always is what kills me, that mile and a half run. So it's only a mile and a half,
not that
so I just
bad,
kill
yeah.
myself for a mile and a half.
Sure,
I remember I used to, oh my gosh, I ran a whole mile. I'm so athletic.
So athletic. Pathetically athletic.
Athletic.
Well, glad you're here tonight, man, as always.
Thank you.
And all right, we'll move right over here to Jake Schriner. How are you, sir?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay. Got home. The dogs got into the pantry. Destroyed an entire thing of toilet paper, half a thing of ramen, ate a bunch of goldfish, just shredded all of it all over the ground. I'm very frustrated. Yeah.
What was Harper's reaction?
Oh no, Daddy, they made a mess. Yes, I see that, honey. Yes.
Thank you.
Let's get the dogs outside. Let's clean it up. She was actually very helpful cleaning up. She's getting to it. She wants to always help, with whatever we're doing. So she wants to, if we're doing laundry, she wants to help with that. If we're vacuuming, for cleaning.
good.
So yeah, so she was very helpful picking stuff up, which is nice. Yeah. So but other than that, work. I had since I've been here last. Let's see, I had a couple weeks ago. My engineer that I was, real excited for him to, he was doing a good job, and I thought he was happy with work or whatever. Something happened. He just up and quit. No.
Oh no!
2 weeks ago.
Is this the one you just hired, you said?
Back in August.
Oh.
Yeah. So it didn't even, didn't even make it 6 months. I don't know what happened. He just texted me one night at like 9 o'clock. I was like, I'm not coming into work tomorrow, and I quit. Like,
Wonderful, man. Thank you.
I've had moments like that. Nah.
It's terrible. So, and then this morning I got a text from one of my yard guys, pretty much the same thing.
Oh.
Yep. So now I'm looking to hire 2 people. So if anybody knows anybody,
Yeah. Once again.
yeah, what's up?
Contact us.
Constantly looking for people.
Is it that hard of a job, you think, or what's going on?
So the engineering side of it, no. So his position was not difficult. I am wondering if there is another job that So he had quarantined for like a week and a half because he was positive for COVID right after Christmas, and then we got him back for about 2 days. and then that evening was when I got the text. So I have a hunch that he was bored during quarantine and was doing a little looking for other gigs. Which is I can't fault anybody for wanting to better themselves. That's totally fine. But the whole 2-week notice thing is a courtesy, but it is a thing. Like people, it's a respectful thing to do. We gave this guy a shot at working in an office for the first time, utilizing some technical skills he's never really utilized before, and helping him grow. And I knew he wasn't going to be around forever, but at least a little 2-week notice would have been totally fine. And then same deal with the guy this morning, except he's just a yard guy, so it wasn't. It's not as big of a hit, but it's still kind of frustrating because that just puts more workload on the rest of the yard.
Right.
Yeah.
They get real annoyed with it. But yeah, other than that, just trying to get back into a routine. The holidays were. It was nice having the breaks, and then we had to Harper tested positive for COVID, so we were out for a week and. It felt like the last month has kind of been without structure and a routine and stuff. So it's nice to kind of get back into that. So
it was fun seeing her again at church Sunday too.
Yeah, those hippos. It didn't stop when we got home. Daddy, look, Daddy.
They came hungry hippos.
No, she loves those crafts and it's so much fun doing that. So a big thank you to Leona and Kathy for doing that with her because she absolutely loves that.
So great. Yeah, because she was like, "Oh no, not my jacket."
Makes me think like back when we were kids, we had gotten hungry hippos. It lasted a day before it mysteriously disappeared.
That's because it became loud hippos.
Of course. So.
Anyway, glad you're here, Jake.
Thank you.
As always. Michael, my youngest son. There he is. How are you doing, buddy?
Good. I've been seeing someone for the past 3 weeks, and that's been just going great.
What was it?
Maybe she's watching.
I doubt it.
I don't know. This is one of the most popular things on the internet.
Oh yes, I've heard all about it on Twitter.
It's trendy.
But work is getting kind of weird right now because I had one of my best employees move on to a different job, which more power to him. Happy for him. My old manager left with a week notice to us, but he did do the whole 2-week notice for the offices. Mm-hmm. And so we're just like, now what? So right now it's kind of a scramble for that job. I'm trying to scramble for it.
Oh yeah,
It is an uphill climb trying to get a hold of that guy. But
maybe he's watching. Oh wait, you never know. It is the internet. You never know.
I got some choice words like "you" are hard to get a hold of. But
that's very choice.
Yes, be choosy with those words. For sure.
But and I got 2 other employees considering leaving, and anytime I have an employee consider leaving, I'm like, do it.
Yeah.
Don't work here forever. Don't be working at Hot Topic as a sales associate for the rest of your life. You don't want to be doing that. You're 45, I'm just a cashier at Hot Topic.
Yeah. It's a good jumping off point, right?
Yeah, this is one of my employees' very first job, and boy does it show. But yeah.
It's all right.
It's a learning thing. So we've been very much working with them. So.
Well, awesome. Well, I'm glad you're here tonight, as always. I would say that.
I want to do a plug for Michael, who is now known, but he is the unknown artist.
Oh, that's right.
Artist unknown. Artist unknown.
But now you know.
He is
the joke. The joke that I usually say with that is nobody knows who the heck I am anyway. Might as well capitalize off of it.
That's pretty funny.
How are you, Johnny?
I am doing pretty good. Back at the school again today, and guys, I always have some kind of little story. I can't use names or anything like that. All I'll say is, It's one little dude. For some reason, he got where he was not going to do anything anybody was telling him, and he has this thing where his way to try and make everybody mad or upset with him is he starts taking his clothes off.
As one does.
So, as one does, right? So he's like, he goes off into the corner, and he starts taking everything off. Okay, so Heather, teacher, all right, we had this little thing, we gotta pull up the drape, right? Because he can't be, I mean, I'm looking at, I'm not kidding. He's completely naked in the classroom, but now behind the little curtain. And then after just a little while, I hear Heather say it. That is not okay. You do not have permission to pee in my classroom.
Oh no. Oh.
So the dude was peeing in the corner. What is going on with these kids peeing in the corner inside the classroom?
I don't know.
But
Quickest way to point A to point B.
yeah. Anyway, I didn't have to deal with that one. So that was
That's a
Heather.
good welcome back though.
Yeah, right. She
Glad to know
she
nothing's
got to do
changed.
that.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. So that's the way. It was a snapshot of the day. That's probably the only thing I could probably share. But yeah, there have been certainly worse things than that that have happened in the past week or so. But that was the funny one to me. I was like, oh, yeah. I'm glad it wasn't me. I did get home and I got to take a very short power nap. So you came in and said hi to Michael there, but yeah, 20 minutes maybe. That was actually sleep. Maybe 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. But and you guys know I hate doing that, and the reason is because, as I always say, I hate waking up from sleep. Period. So I don't want to do it more than once in a day.
Right.
So waking up from a nap.
Mistake a few
I'm
times.
with you.
Valid reasoning.
It's like, forget that. So anyway, but yeah, so I'm doing pretty good.
Okay.
Doing okay. Recovering still, I guess, probably still a little physically recovering. But I did walk home from school today. So starting a little bit of trying to get back in, but not pushing it too hard.
Yeah.
I just downloaded this little app. You're working off of a health app of some kind, right? Some kind of diet thing.
No,
Not anymore?
not anymore.
Okay, no
we're
problem.
doing something different.
I am too.
But I do track stuff on my Fitbit.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's called LifeSum is the name of the app. It's a free app. And it's just basic, fundamental.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor of the podcast, but if you'd like to be. It's Bob. CompassNumber.com. Anyway, so I'm trying that, but here's the thing. I started using that today, but I wasn't really thinking about it too much, yet, because I wasn't really kind of jump full in. So I just started entering in my calories, because it's this thing where it's like, here's how much you weigh, here's what your goal is, and they suggest me losing like 1.5 pounds a week, so it'll stay off longer, and that by July 3rd, I should reach my goal, if I stick to what they say. But the problem is, it's like 2,100 calories a day.
That's pretty decent.
That's a fair
actually
amount, yeah.
a lot of calories.
No, that's dinner for me.
He's a southern man.
Wow.
That's a general dinner. I'm just kidding. So, but yeah,
I'm
so,
thinking, wow, that's
Southern
No, that's right, that's about right,
hard
right?
meals.
count for calories.
but I left the house this morning with a English muffin with some egg and bacon and cheese. Right? Leona made that fresh,
Good.
delicious, wonderful. And what did I say? It was like I had some yogurt at a break today, and then I went ahead and had a little from the cafeteria's food today, and then I had my lunch time. So I started entering this stuff in. I was like, wait, I've only got like 400 calories left. So I'm like, what am I going to eat when I get home? I'm not sure.
Try eating
Well, on the
those.
complete opposite spectrum of that, I had lunch at this place up in Littleton called the Bacon Social House.
Ooh, that's
And it's the most unhealthy meal ever.
Really good.
Oh, it's so good.
Bacon
They had this
is not
whole-
unhealthy.
It is natural.
Too much bacon
Right.
is
Well, I
unhealthy.
mean,
It had-
so what did you have?
They had this tray that had like 8 different flavored bacons,
Ooh.
all apple smoked. One of them was bourbon
Oh, my
chocolate.
soul.
One of them was chili lime.
Oh.
That sounds
And then I had
have to check it
French toast there
Wow.
that kind of had a bourbon syrup-ish thing,
Yeah.
I think. But it was
Oh my
delightful.
Wow.
That sounds really good.
It does sound really good.
See, now I'm sad.
Well, and that wraps up our podcast.
We're heading off to the
there.
bacon
They
restaurant.
close at 3. They're a breakfast restaurant.
Oh, awesome.
Johnny, I have 2 pieces of advice for you.
Oh, thank you. Sure. What are they?
Cut the sugar.
Cut the
carbs.
sugars. Cut the carbs.
That's it.
There. That's easy enough for me.
Yep.
Actually, I actually with this kind of stuff, I horse around about it, but I'm on. You know what I mean? Once I'm on it, I'm like, yeah, I can cut back.
So I had after church yesterday. I was loading the stuff into my vehicle, and I saw this kid on it was one of those little toy motorized motorcycles, right, with little training wheels.
Nah.
Except it was dead. So he was pushing it.
Oh no!
Slowly across, and then I watched him go, and then I got to my car and opened the back, and then a Suburban comes into the parking lot, and the dad gets out. Kid sees the dad get out, just boom, and takes off.
Oh no!
He chases him down, gets in, walks him back, and everything. And then I get a good look at the kid, and there's some physical characteristics to kids with disability, learning disabilities.
Okay.
And my first thought was, I wonder if that's one of Johnny's kids.
Anything is possible. Because sometimes some of those kids that I work with, they get.
Because he was elementary age.
They run out of their house, and there was one kind of a scary thing a year or so ago, where one of these kids, the uncle was kind of watching him, but he didn't realize that he had a tendency to bolt.
Oh.
And so this kid just goes running out of the house, down the block, and into the street.
Oh.
And when people finally tried to stop and get him out of the thing, well, he's nonverbal mostly.
Yeah.
And they couldn't figure it out. It's like, does he speak English? Whatever. And just by the grace of God, one of the teachers who works at the school, just happened to be driving by that way that day, and she recognized him. She didn't work with him, but she just recognized him, and she was like, "Oh no, he's autistic." And so now I think he has some kind of bracelet that says, "I'm autistic." Call this number. It's a wise thing to do. Yeah,
That's good.
Well, all right then. We've yappity yapped here for a few minutes. Let's talk a little about the weekend. The weekend. Ta-da.
Great artist.
The weekend.
Yeah,
the weekend.
So church was a little hacky.
We were hacking a lot.
There was some coughing going on.
That's true.
But we're all getting over something.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that was weird.
Recovering, yeah.
Speaking as I kept coughing. And Michael was online. I will say Michael had one of the funniest lines, I thought, during our greeting time. What was the question? It was like, what's something you want to learn?
yeah.
What is something you've always wanted to learn?
And you said,
And I said I wanted to learn archery because I wanted to be the coolest person at the Ren Fair.
That's right. Yes.
I do actually want to learn archery because I just think it's a cool thing.
It's pretty cool.
Just watch the Hunger Games over and over. You'll learn
I'd
something.
rather watch Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Be like
now you're
Legolas.
well, so about the weekend, about yesterday, we were down a lot of people because again we got a lot of people still sick and out of town. Even Bob was out of town visiting with his brother who had recently lost his wife and sister-in-law, and but it was fun. Those who were actually there in person, it was good to have you back again. You've been out for so long, so that was nice. Added a lot to it. What are your thoughts, guys? What happened? What stood out?
There's a lot of good advice going on around during the greeting. Everybody seemed to be bouncing off each other.
Right.
I want to do this. Oh, me too. And yeah, I know how to do that.
I know how to do it. Yeah, we should get everybody together.
Melissa
and
wants to
teach
do
each other.
gardening or whatever, and Jake does gardening. Right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, hey, you can teach her something.
I was actually at work during all of that, so I was really comment because we don't open until 12 on Sundays, but
Yeah.
I have a lot to do before we
sure.
open.
Yeah.
Essentially, like doing all the paperwork from last week to yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting there like clicking buttons, typing stuff, and just looking over at my phone every so often.
I do like the idea of doing a
garden or whatever.
community garden thing.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
the Compass Church community garden. I think that would be super fun.
It would be kind of fun.
Something that we could plan out a little
Yeah.
bit. Now it's like they're
Do it in our front yard. It's our house.
our front yard.
With all the rocks. Welcome to the rock garden.
Clear spot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know there are community gardens, and groups and organizations can actually like stake out a part of that,
Right.
Make sure it's all done. That might be an option. Otherwise, we do have to have land.
Right. Yeah, that's the limitation, of course.
We've got this back behind the studio here. It doesn't get a whole lot of sun during the summer, but it gets enough.
Ah,
So it's like half and half.
A lot of potatoes then.
And we'd have to clear out the rocks,
Welcome to the potato.
till it up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking, when would we do that? Like going into spring, into the summer?
Yeah,
What would be the
they
best time?
start
Then
probably
Jake's got
like-
a bunch of raised beds out back already.
I do. I'll just leave the back gate unlocked
There
and
you
people
go.
can come and go and help and pick what they want and everything. Yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah.
We'll have to figure that out.
Yeah, well,
Because it's actually a good idea.
Yeah, I like the idea.
We could always do the classic church thing and have a church softball team.
Yeah, that's true. Softball.
Yeah.
Do we have enough guys that can play softball?
Now I do know
Well,
this.
would it be co-ed?
Yeah, we
would have.
There are some co-ed
Good
leagues.
swing arm.
Yeah,
We have to lay
Kathy
down
would
the
be
laws. Yeah.
that would be kind of fun. Getting a rec league, not a comp league.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
let's
definitely.
For
Let's
sure.
do competitive. If we lose, I can break someone's kneecaps.
No.
Let's not do that.
Yeah. We were in the chapter 5 of Acts, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
The continuing
That's
the
right.
story,
Yes.
The movement.
the movement. Yes.
The continuing the momentum. Yes.
It was about how the Sadducees were really jealous about, I guess maybe their popularity and that their message was actually getting through to people. That's probably it. Because, the more you have a really good freeing message, those that are in power that are losing that tend to get a little upset about that,
Little
I would
fidgety.
imagine.
Yeah.
So look what happened to Christ.
Exactly.
Yes,
Same kind of
Yeah.
deal.
And they were like, they come in and they're like, stop, and so they had them arrested,
Yes.
jailed.
Yeah.
They're stubborn, God lets them out of jail, right? So they're out there preaching again, and they're like, hey,
What happened?
We just had this conversation.
yeah, I told you not to do that. And they're like, sorry.
I'm sorry, I don't recall.
What was the quote? You were saying that Rick
Rick Warren.
Warren's
Yeah.
quote, and this was what I imagine that the apostles were thinking about was, I'm sorry, Sadducees, but I'd rather disappoint you than God.
Yeah, that's the summary for sure. Like
I can't remember the exact quote.
I am more afraid of the disapproval of God
Right.
than your disapproval
Yeah.
or society's disapproval.
Yeah.
And what's great about that clip with Rick too is if you actually watch it, he's been incredibly respectful throughout the whole thing. In fact, even Pierce Morgan obviously respects him greatly, and that comes across so well. But he still doesn't back down in that regard at all.
Right.
So I was like, it's good to see.
It is good to see. It's tough when you see somebody that has been given this wonderful platform
Yeah.
and then they cave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, like
They sold out.
have some backbone, stick to your virtues, your convinctions. Yeah, it's
Yeah, and you can say those things in love, and you can disagree even with somebody, and really communicate. You want to hear where they're coming from, and you respect them, but you don't back off. You don't just capitulate to that situation.
Right.
So that was from the point you're not easily intimidated. Was the idea.
Right, which I think is really important because a lot of times people do just back down. And I think, and going back to the Rick Warren story, one of the biggest things that we can do when we're standing firm in our faith and our belief and everything, and we're being challenged for that, is the respect that we do that with.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people who are kind of mean about it or whatever, but yeah, if you're doing it respectfully, I really think that speaks volumes as well.
Yeah, I think it says you care about the person you're talking to, right? Because there are people, sometimes they care more about their thing than the person they're talking to. And how you say something to somebody, it's like I have many conversations with people who are not believers, but I earn the right to speak into them sometimes because of how I am around them, what I say to them. But I don't, and this is where we sometimes miss it. We can be so kind, whatever, that when the opportunity arises, we don't take it.
Right.
Right? To speak, when they're actually giving you the freedom to say, Johnny, what do you think about this? What does, you're a Christian, what's your take on this or that? So it's important to be able to have the courage and boldness to say the truth, but do it in love.
Every now and then at the mall I work at, we get these, we call them religious wackadoos, because they always come up to us. We're just sitting there trying to work, and they immediately started like kind of preaching to us. Mm-hmm. So there's that good old mix of courage and boldness to the point of annoyance.
Yeah.
And not the kind where, it comes out naturally.
Yeah. It's all about timing too.
Too.
It's like, there was this guy we saw a few years ago. I may have mentioned this in a message one time, but he was standing right at 225. 225? Why can't I get these numbers? I mix them up with Texas ones from years.
This road and that road.
Yeah.
It's 225.
225 is the, yeah.
Yep, because 25 is the one that goes straight. All right. But he was right at 225 in Alameda, right next to the idol. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The golden idol.
Yeah.
Anyhow, but he was standing, but he was just holding a sign. And what did it say? It was like,
I don't remember this.
Jesus, it may have been a Jesus saves, it may have been a...
All sinners are going to burn.
It was something, it was some kind of deal.
I saw one of those.
And it was like, everybody's just driving by. I mean, and he's just... And you could tell he was like, I'm doing this because I've got to do it, and I'm getting this out to tell the truth. I was like, you know what? Pretty good message, terrible delivery, terrible timing. All you're doing is making it worse. You're keeping people from this message because of the way you're doing it.
Right. I remember that because he was over by where I used to work at that gas station. It was Havana and Alameda, and the entire time he's like, Yep, I remember seeing it at work and I'm telling you about it as you picked me up.
It may be a different guy, but anyway, same kind of idea.
It's just the look of, I don't know, it's almost religious superiority. You're like, I ain't even doing
Well, it's Jonah. It's the Jonah syndrome, right? We haven't gone through Jonah, which I have before, but I'm looking forward to doing it again. But anyway, Jonah is that prophet, right? He ran from God. That's the story we always hear. He's in the fish.
And he had to go to Nineveh to tell them to stop slapping people with fishes. I remember that.
That is the Veggie
Wait,
Tales.
that's a Veggie Tales version.
I've seen that a few times.
Stop slapping.
Yeah. I always love the story of Jonah because the way I tell it to people, just because I find the whole thing kind of funny, because Jonah is just like, dude, you're just the worst. It's like, do this. I don't wanna. It's like a kid who, like, come on, we have to go to the grocery store. We got to get this stuff. We need to get food. And you're like, I don't want to go.
Well, he's bitter the whole way through.
The entire time.
Well, and even when he goes, he's kind of like, all right, I've mustered myself up to do this. In 90 days, 40 days, I think it's 40 days. I'm not looking at it right now. Because, Nineveh is destroyed. And the thing happens that he didn't want to happen, is that they actually repented of their sin. Turned to God, and God didn't destroy them, and he was really annoyed by them. So, dude! It's like I told him the turn or burn story, but he didn't care about them at all. And so that's a powerful lesson about Jonah, and as you go into the end of it, and you really realize, oh, I see. And by the end of the story, very end of Jonah, past all of that, it doesn't end in a happy way. It ends by going, oh, Jonah was a religious jerk who didn't care about anybody. even in the end. But there's a lot of great, grace and things in Jonah's life, and God still commands him to go even after he failed. I mean, there's a lot of great lessons in it, but we weren't even talking about Jonah. Why are we talking about Jonah? Anyway, from Sunday, it was that idea of you're not easily intimidated. Was that point. And also, we were also talking about it, your life begins to create a buzz. Because even as they went and got those guys from preaching, they did it fairly timidly. Yeah. Because they weren't scared of them; they were afraid of the people. Who had the buzz was growing in a very good way. And so, anyway, that whole bit about your life can have a negative buzz or a positive buzz. Just like the guys we were just talking about.
Are you going to finish up? I'm guessing that we're going to finish up the story. Right?
No, that's it. No, yes, we are.
Because the next
part
it's great.
The next part
of it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
The next part of the story.
I'm looking forward to that. Now, this Sunday is
a big Sunday.
That's a big Sunday, so we're going to be back in the Gospel of Mark, probably, unless we got to wrap up that message, part 2, right?
We have time.
But we have time, Lord willing.
And if he comes before then, it's okay.
It's okay. If the Lord comes back, we're still okay.
It's a win-win situation.
Yeah, all right, so we'll be in Mark on Sunday, and then the week after that, then I'll wrap up that message, and then we're going to talk about marriage for 2 weeks.
Ooh.
Yeah, the Valentine's Day one.
It's not, it wasn't my original plan, but as I've been thinking and praying about it, there are 2 messages. It's a part 1, part 2. It's just, I just think it's a good time to do it.
Okay.
And, we did relationships, but they were all general. This is a specific marriage, so it really does impact everybody. Those who are going to be married, maybe you've been married, maybe you've been married multiple times, which is the case for a number of people in our church. So it's good to talk about it. Speaking of just having to say truth, right? So there's going to be some truth spoken there. But then we'll be moving into a few things. Another thing out of Acts, and that sets up the stage for a whole other thing. But again, I just keep teasing.
There's no spoilers. That leads to the other thing. He's going to leave it that vague.
That thing about the other thing is going to be some kind of thing, let me tell you.
That's what keeps him coming back.
What a thing. That's right. You think that's it? Okay.
So wait, there's more.
Well, anyway.
Don't turn that on.
See how long we've been here.
Long enough.
We're doing pretty good. I was going to say, we only got to 3 points from Sunday, but one was, your wife created buzz. The other was, you're not easily intimidated. The third one was, you begin to see what's really important.
Let's say you wrote it.
Yeah, well, I know, but it's been a day.
You've slept since then.
Many people, honestly, most people, by the time they're in their car, they barely remember what the message was about sometimes in church. So I'm glad we have this next day to kind of recap.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of reinforce what we've been talking about. Well, what else, guys? Anything else about yesterday? And not everybody got to experience this, but our friend Annette.
Yeah.
This is her kind of last day. We're going to probably see her again in May.
Sure.
But she's moving away.
Right.
And this was after, so you haven't heard this yet.
Yeah.
It's a bummer, but we had a sweet moment where we were able to pray for her and encourage her. And I tell people this all the time, that we had gotten to a point where, honestly, I was about to give up and say, I guess we're done.
Yeah.
And no kidding, God brought us Annette, and she was so enthusiastic. Really? And then Kyle came next, and then we were the church of us and Annette and Kyle that met under the tree by the school.
Different tree, the one behind.
It's a different tree, but But
huge
anyhow,
wind tunnel, so we arrive. Right?
Yeah, God really used Annette in the life of our church to keep us going.
Where 2 or more are gathered.
Yeah, right? That's right.
Yeah, that was us. Right. We were the 2 or more. We almost changed our name to the Church of 2 or More. No.
We'll just keep going.
Just keep rocking.
Just keep swimming.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, but that was sweet. It was great for her to see that. She almost kind of snuck out of there, that silly girl.
Yeah. That's her, though.
That's so Annette. Well, what else? Any other things about Sunday? We talked about the hippo craft. That was pretty hilarious.
Looking forward to Big Sunday.
Yeah,
Big Sundays are a lot of work, but
they are a lot of work.
They're fun.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. I hope Morey's okay.
He'll be fine. He's fine. He'll be
by Sunday.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we didn't even address that. Morey's not even here, and that reminds me of what we always want to emphasize in our podcast. Speaking of Morey, is John 3:16.
John 3:16.
Right. So who's gonna quote it tonight? Who's our JKM guy? Is it gonna be you?
Do it on Facebook.
All right, let's hear it.
There you go.
For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life.
Excellent. Oh, and you're getting better and better at quoting.
Thank you.
Yeah, we want to make sure we communicate that. Thank you, Jake.
It's like our reason, you know. I mean, that demonstration of endless love
Yeah.
and compassion for us. And there was, I think I was telling you about this. The rescue story of the Turpin kids.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But the one girl who got away and was able to call 911 was watching Justin Bieber and she had fallen in love with Bieber, but there was and even during Bieber's transition to Christianity,
It's
right?
taking a weird turn.
I know. But one of the things that he said in this clip that they showed, which I thought was really, really cool, you know, for somebody that's really young in their faith, understanding this, that God's love is already there. You don't have to earn it, you know, you don't have to work for it.
Yeah.
You know, his love is already there, unconditional. It's 100% there for you. All you have to do is receive it.
Oh, that's what Justin Bieber said?
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's,
Chris
I mean,
Pratt said something.
I think that's really a powerful thing
Yeah.
to understand.
Right.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right,
John
guys.
3:16.
John 3:16. Read it again.
16:3.
Think about it.
Get it.
What are you going to do about it?
What are you going to do about it? That's it. Tattoo it on your leg.
Yeah.
You can if you want. But all right, guys. Well, I think we're at the end of our. I think we've now.
We are.
We're going to wander. So, anything else before we hit final words?
I don't think so.
Well, I will say this: that we meet every Sunday somewhere in the world, but always online. You can find us on Facebook at Compass Church Colorado. You can discover more at compassdenver.com. We'd love to have you as our guest this Sunday. All right, 10 o'clock this Sunday.
That's right.
All right, final words.
Love you guys. Love everyone out there.
This has been great.
Is that a word?
Yes.
Now.
All right, there you go. All right.
Work on the spelling later.
CCK.
Okay. All right. Well, grace and peace to you. That's all we have for tonight, and we are out. That threw me. Later, Gators.
I didn't have a plan going into it. Much like most things in my life.
I gave you a little bit.